Hello, this is Dr. Bertha Ayi. I'm presenting a synopsis of Word of Inspiration for today, Friday, December 8th, 2017, and the message was entitled Defining Your Vision, Part 1. My text was taken from the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 14. And in that verse, Mordecai tells Esther that if you hold your peace at this time, enlargement and deliverance will come to the Jews from some other place, and who knows whether you've come into the kingdom for such a time as this. My goal for today's message was to let you know how you fit into history in the sense of time. Mordecai tells Esther, who knows whether you will come into the kingdom for such a time as this. And I wanted you to understand that you were born at this time for a reason, and that a lot of the time your vision will be linked to the time in which you live. Think about it. There have been many, many years that have come and gone, and there'll be hundreds of years to come. But you're alive in 2017 with all the social, political, and economic issues going on for a reason. Esther was to deliver the Jews from an evil plot hatched by a man called Haman, and she was successful at doing so. I also looked at Samson in Judges chapter 13. Now, before he was even conceived, an angel appeared to his mother who was barren and said, "You will conceive a son, and he will be a Nazarite, for I will use him to deliver the Israelites." Now, remember, that woman was not even pregnant, but God already had a vision. So similarly, there's a vision for your life before you were born. You may not understand it or fully know it. Now, after Samson was born, for about the first 20 years of his life, it looked like nothing was happening. His parents must have been watching. The angel said this boy was going to be used. And then one day in Judges chapter 14, he just comes and tells his parents, "I've seen a woman in Philistine. I want to marry her." And in Judges chapter 14, verse 4, his parents said, "So, of all the women in Israel, you couldn't find any of them except in Philistine?" And then verse 5, here is the beauty of it. The Bible says, "And his father and mother did not even know that it was of the Lord, that God was seeking for an occasion for him to rise up against the Philistines." Needless to say, because of this woman, Samson fought the Philistines. They took the woman away from him. He found a prostitute. He found Delilah. God used all these women that Samson desired to be able to fight the Philistines. So fast forward to today. How does this apply to you? Look around you. What's been stirring you? What's been moving you? See, Mandela was moved by the evil law of apartheid, and that became his life's vision. Martin Luther King was moved by the black segregation and the civil rights issues at that time, and that became the vision for his life. Today, look around you. If you're an African, for example, there's so much poverty, lack of financial infrastructure, lack of a good healthcare system. Some have been moved to build universities because of lack of ethics. What is moving you today? How do you define your vision? Because if you don't know your vision, you can't even write it down. What is moving you? Is there something that makes you cry? Something that you think about all the time? It could be a political issue. It could be an economic issue. Maybe that's your calling. That's your vision. Define your vision. I also talked about honoring your parents and how, like Samson's parents, sometimes God will reveal your vision to your parents. I think about Mr. Richard Williams, who literally dragged his two daughters to the tennis court, and that became their life's vision. They can't think of doing anything else. It's what gives them joy, but it was from their father. I think of the Jackson, Mr. Joe Jackson, who allowed all his 10 children to go into the music industry. They were too young to make a decision for themselves, but he made it. Similarly, if you're a parent, look at your children and help them define your vision. And after you define it, you write it down. This is Dr. Ayi. Please join me tomorrow as we do talk about defining your vision part 2. And say this after me: I am a winner. I am more than a conqueror. I will live to fulfill my purpose. God has a plan for my life, so I will not die until I fulfill that plan. I will be able to do it to the glory of God. God richly bless you.